Welcome to the show. I'm Danella, and here's what's happening now. It has officially happened. AIs, artificial intelligence, can now outdebate humans. We'll get into that in just a moment. Also on deck, political pop. We're going to discuss what is on top of everyone's mind and on everyone's tongue. But right now, I just have to say, I am feeling so much better. All right. Still battling that baby bug, meaning the cold I got from my son, but I'm feeling so much better. And I just want to take this time to thank those of you who have reached out and gave me well wishes. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your well wishes. I am on my way. I still wonder, how does something so big and disgusting like these germs live in such these tiny little humans, right? Have you ever gotten a cold from a child? I mean, even an infant, you're like, dude, what happened? I mean, my first time I got sick from my son, he literally gave me something that gave me bronchitis. I'm like, what? He's only sick for what? A day, two, and then I get it. I'm on an inhaler, breathing treatments. I don't even have asthma. I'm like, is this what it's like? So yeah, how does something so big exist in these tiny humans? But yeah, on the mend. So I want to start the show with some good news. I thought this was pretty cool. Did you see this? The MTV Movie Awards, lots of stars there, celebrities there, but also there was James Shaw Jr. Remember, he fought off a gunman at the Waffle House in Tennessee, saved lives. He was also injured, burned his hand on the pistol, as well as he was grazed by a bullet. Well, anyway, he was also at the MTV Movie Awards. And so while James is in the audience, Chad is on stage accepting his award for Best Superhero, brings James on stage and literally gives him his award and says, "This is going to live at your house." Wow. Amazing. Big ups to you, Chad. I was already rocking with you. All right. Wakanda for life. I was already in your corner. But even before that, I mean, amazing actor, but that just a cool individual. I mean, for James, can you imagine him having this award on his shelf? Because there'll come a time where there's not as much fanfare. There will be. There'll come that time. And people will come to his house and kick it with him. And even his children can look up when they're older. Grandchildren can say, "Granddad, what's that?" And he can just say, "I have this superhero award because I'm really a superhero." So I just think that is so, so beautiful. So yeah, that's the sugar before my next yucky topic, and that is political pop. Here is your political pop for Friday, June 22nd. Finally, Trump signs an executive order to end family separation. The new plan involves detaining families together. Some are saying, finally, a plan. Others are saying, too little, too late. Before he got to this point, let's take it back. You had everyone speaking out about how just disgusting and tragic this is. But I want to talk to you about a letter that was released by a bipartisan group of 72 former U.S. states attorneys. We're talking bipartisan, okay? And this letter was for Attorney General Jeff Sessions. And here's what they wanted, quote, for Jeff Sessions to announce that this policy was ill-conceived and that its consequences and costs are too drastic. Keep in mind, Jeff Sessions has said, if you don't want your child separated, then don't bring them across the border illegally. Right. So in this letter, this is what the attorneys said. They said the law does not require the systematic separation of families under these circumstances. Collectively, as former United States attorneys, we have prosecuted tens of thousands of cases involving far more serious crimes than misdemeanor illegal entry offenses. And even in those far more serious cases, decisions involving separation of children from their parents were made with extraordinary caution and only after an evaluation of the specific circumstances of a particular case. Now, this is what other states' attorneys say. 72 former states' attorneys say this, okay? Now, weigh this against what Trump said initially. Trump said, hey, blame the Dems, is their fault. The Democrats are like, what the heck are you talking about? And also, there is no written law that says you have to separate children from their parents. The fact that you're doing something now, great. You're doing something you should have done a long time ago and should have never allowed. It is disgusting. This should have never been allowed. And it says a lot about the individuals that have allowed this to happen. I'm DanellaNOW, and that was your Political Pop. Now, an update, lava still flows in Hawaii, and scientists there are saying that it'll take at least 100 years for the lava-covered forests to start to recover. In fact, they say it'll take 150 years for the trees in the forest to grow in the way that it once was. Scientists also say don't be alarmed in the sense that this is nature doing what nature does. But I want to bring this up because I did not know this. Very interesting. They say in terms of marine organisms and coral, they say basically you're starting from day one, but it is easier to lose an irreplaceable reef to lava than bleaching. And bleaching has occurred in many places in Hawaii because of the global rise in ocean temperatures. Isn't that crazy? We look at lava and we're shocked, and we look at the devastation and you think, oh, nothing will grow there again. And you hear, okay, 100 years, to 150 years, eventually it'll grow. And when we're talking about marine life, coral reef, this a live organism, to think that lava is better than global warming. It's amazing. I guess it's just Mother Earth doing what Mother Earth does. And because of that, Earth is able to rebuild. Now, also this week, I just was like, what is happening in the world? Did you hear about this? It makes me say, come on, Russia. Come on, Burger King? Burger King in Russia had to apologize after an ad that said this: get impregnated by a World Cup player and win free Whoppers. No, it's disgusting. I don't know why I'm laughing. I guess because I have a sick sense of humor. It's not funny and it's disgusting. But it's just like, who wrote this ad and was like, that's a great idea? But it was a serious promotion. Here's what they said. They offer women 3 million rubles. That's the equivalent of $47,000. And free Whoppers for life if the woman becomes impregnated by a player that's in the World Cup. Right. So after they posted this ad, they immediately had to take it down and apologize. Well, this is not the first time Burger King Russia's division has been in trouble for doing something just completely horrific. Just last year, they had a stunt that involved a teenage rape victim. The 16-year-old was raped at a house party and referenced this teenager in a buy one, get one free promotion. Come on, Russia. And if you remember, if you think back to one of my earlier shows, I do confessions from the back seat. I had a Russian driver, and he was telling me about how crazy it is in Russia for women. And he was talking about how they hire secretaries. He said, an ad for a secretary can read, must have this bra size, must be this height, this hair color. And I said this back then. I literally was like, you're exaggerating. No way. And he said, no, it's true. In Russia, you have two secretaries. One is, the one busty, you have an affair with her. I was like, really? And he said, and the other one, she's much older and she's the one that does the job. And I couldn't believe it. He said, yeah, this is regular ads that run in the paper. I guess this is why I've never been to Russia. I think this is definitely why. Well, for those of you who are thinking, hey, this is why I don't eat Burger King. I only eat Wendy's. Hold up. What's inside your bun Did you see this? Wendy's in Oklahoma, a mouse inside the bun and feces in a bag of buns. Disgusting. So an employee, she showed it to her manager, and she said her manager refused to properly handle the situation. So she took to social media, and you could see a mouse, so disgusting, running around the buns. Ew. And mouse poop. Yuck. She says she did this after the manager was like, yeah, we'll get to it later. Disgusting. Well, Wendy's has since said that they are handling it. They're taking this seriously. This is amongst many reasons why I definitely don't eat burgers. It's gross. Gross. Speaking of social media, there was a new online poll. This is the 2018 Edelman Trust Barometer Survey. So the online survey occurred in 9 global markets, asking which spokesperson is most credible for a brand. Okay, and we think spokesperson, you can think, celebrity, academic expert, technical expert, government officials, and who would you think would be at the bottom of the list? Which spokesperson is most credible for a brand? Celebrities came in dead last. Celebrities, most trusted are technical experts. After them are academic experts tied with a person like yourself. Isn't that interesting? So you're more likely to trust someone who you relate to on social media. A successful entrepreneur is more trustworthy than an employee, and they're both more trustworthy than a journalist. Yeah. Not trusting journalists. Under journalists are CEOs and board of directors. And again, bottom of the barrel, celebrities. I mean, what comes to mind when you see a celebrity endorsing a product, right? Don't you immediately think, oh, they were paid to do this? Yeah, guess we're smartening up. Well, now we will jump into In Our World this week. An AI from IBM duked it out with humans and won in an oral debate. This occurred in San Francisco. Impressive battle between humans and a computer. And folks are saying the computer won. It's amazing. They said that the computer was able to quickly synthesize arguments through loads of material and was able to debate and do so without bias. And so why this is important, one, it's important because it's like, whoa, you have a debating computer. Like it just debated some humans, more than one human and one. Yeah, that's crazy. But also they say that this can help humans because the idea is a computer can shuffle through loads and loads of information and create a really strong case for an argument without bias, and that can help humans solve problems. Or it could eliminate jobs from humans. Or we can end up living like in Westworld, where they're like, we're people too. We want it. We want to live. We're going to take you out. All right. I might be doing too much, but I swear I put this out there for us to just be aware. Because I know, I talk about the robots taking over. You guys know I talk about it. I talk about jobs. I talk about how to prepare yourself for when things become more automated, how in other civilizations outside of the U.S., other governments are preparing their people. What are they doing? They're giving their people information, more skills, and literally, if we are prepared, we'll be fine. We can work with the transition. We'll just have other jobs. But if no one's really telling you, hey, prepare yourself, your job's about to be automated, then you're out of a job. What are you going to do? So now they drive in cars, not successfully. Right? That's crazy. They're not successfully driving cars, but they're working on perfecting that. They're also working on them flying aircrafts. That's happening. And now these cats are arguing. What? Debating. I can only imagine hearing my grandkids, like I'm babysitting, right? spending some quality time with my cats, my little cats. And I hear this argument and I run upstairs and I'm like, listen, grandma don't play that, all right? I was from the hood on earth. Maybe these are great grands. Grandma don't play that. I was from the hood on earth. And so they're like, come on, grandma. I'm not arguing with my sibling. I'm just arguing with my AI. My AI thinks it knows everything. And the siblings are like, but they're totally right. I don't know why my great grandkids sound this way or look this way, but this is just how I play it out in my mind. So prepare yourself. That's all I'm saying. That about wraps up this week's show. Man, it's crazy what goes through your mind once you start feeling better. It's like a new life. So thank you for being patient with me last week, working with me through my cold. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. As always, let's continue to stay connected. You can email me, DanellaNOW.com, and across all social platforms, DanellaNOW. I hope you have an incredible weekend, and I will see you next week.